All right, we are live and my camera's blurry. Perfect start to the first stream ever of Sorry Not Sorry. Let's try to get that refill. There we go. I'm here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Sorry Not Sorry Pickleball podcast. I'm your host, Chris Callie. This week, we're switching things up. It's going to be a little bit different. So we didn't really have any tournaments on that are worth talking about. So I figured let's have a little live stream and just have some fun. We'll talk some pickleball, hang out. So if you are hanging out with us right now live, go ahead and say what up in the live chat. Go ahead and send us a little message. Say hello. Let us know that you're here. We're going to get into some fun topics. We got some new MLP news. We're definitely going to talk about that. We'll talk a little bit, too, about some of the PPA predictions that we want to make moving forward for the next tournament. They're playing in, I think it's Desert Ridge, which is over in Phoenix. So that should be a fun one. Talk a little bit about that. I got some stuff that we're going to react to. And I'm going to be doing all of this with a very special guest. Now, the guy that I got on today, if you don't know who this is, like, I'm so excited for you guys to get to know him. We're going to talk a little bit. We're going to learn about, kind of the lifestyle that this guy lives. He is an award-winning podcaster. I'm not joking when I say that. He has won an award for his podcast that he's got. It's the world's shortest pickleball podcast. That is literally the name of his podcast. And he lives by that. He does a small little podcast. And by small, I mean that it is 60 seconds long. And he recaps the weekend of events. And it's honestly hilarious. It's very well done, very well edited. He even just put out a new video that's longer than a minute. It's like 5 minutes. But he breaks down his backyard rec play using Real Clear Stats, that company Real Clear Stats. He's got like insight and analysis on his like level of play. And it's at like a, I would say 3.5 level. He might call it a 3.0 level. Anyways, guys, without further delay, let's bring him in. It's Matty Pickles.
What's up,
What
guys?
up, dude?
This is officially the longest podcast already that I've ever been on. So
well, there you go. Yeah, well, dude, glad to have you in here, man. So first off, like, where can people find your stuff? Like, where do we go?
Find me
on Matty Pickles.
Find me on Twitter, Matty Pickles, Instagram, YouTube channel's up and running now. I'm kind of figuring it out as I go. Don't really know what I want it to be, but it's just kind of a fun, creative hobby and having a lot of fun with it. Playing pickleball, you like to post, clips. You said 3.5 level. I think we might get there with this new Duper update once that goes live tonight. So
there we go.
Yeah.
Well, Maddy, it has been a pleasure having you on here. Thanks so much for hopping on the podcast. And guys, go check out his stuff. So Matt, we will see you around. Thanks for coming on the show, man.
Thanks.
All right, moving on. We're going to go ahead and just kidding. We're bringing him back. The shortest appearance on a podcast ever. Just joking, everybody. He's going to be hanging out for a little bit.
Yeah,
so.
I broke out the fancy microphone and everything for this. So I didn't even do that for the dink. So
look at his nice little studio that he's got there. If you guys saw what I'm working with back here behind the green screen, you'd be like, this guy's a mess. He's got his stuff together. What is this little painting action that we got over on your right?
Yeah,
what is this?
My wife, she does a art history minor at SMU. And so
your wife made that?
No, she didn't make it. She found it. She no, art history.
You got a good eye.
Art. Yeah. I just messed up my camera angle. But yeah, she likes getting little fun, cool art for the house. And
there we go.
Yeah, we got that.
Very nice. Okay, cool. We need
yeah, you called it a studio. This is actually the nursery. This is a little baby's room. But I'm flying solo up here tonight. So
I wish I had a rocking chair in my little studio room that I got. I'm a little bit jealous. It looks very soft. So
it's very comfy. I spend a lot of time here.
There we go. So looking at the chat, I see we got Sheldon here. Looks like we got Dirkle. I don't know if I'm saying that right. What up, dude? So thanks everybody for coming in. All right, well, let's get into it. Well, Maddy, I was thinking, so you mentioned that you are in the nursery room or whatever you want to call it, the young child. You're a new father. Hope that that's going well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm curious if you've ever put any thought into this. If you had to let one pro pickleball player babysit your child, who would you want to give that responsibility to? Let's say it's like a week. You're going on vacation, and it has to be a pro pickleball player or just somebody in the pickleball sphere. Who would that be?
I think I'm going to go with Andre Diascu. He
Whoa.
is a father of 2 girls. I have a baby girl. When actually, whenever I first announced to everybody that I had a baby, um, he came on my World's Shortest Pickleball podcast, gave me a quick 10 seconds of parenting advice. I think he told me always pack enough diapers, and when the baby's sleeping, you be sleeping. So I think he's got a good parental instinct. And I just respect the hell out of him too. He's just a really great guy. So
Oh, there we go. That you have that ready to go. You're like,
yeah.
I've been thinking about this. Yeah, it would
And
be
I
him.
even connected it and plugged my own podcast in the process. I
Yes.
actually so whenever I found out that, we were gonna have a girl, I was actually at the APP tournament in Mesa. My wife got the results back and called me. So,
Oh,
I
wow.
got to kinda actually, I, like, talked to him shortly after that, and he was like, "Oh, you'll be great." Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
he was there since the beginning. Let's
Yeah.
go. Nice. Very good. He does seem like he'd be a good dad. He seems like he's got some good composure to him,
Mhm.
you know?
Absolutely.
That's good. That's good. Solid answer. There we go. All right, cool. Well, speaking of your videos, well, first off, guys, definitely go to Matty's his YouTube channel, go to his Instagram, like go subscribe. Go ahead and watch an episode right now. You'll be
Yeah.
back in like by the time we're done with the next question, like you're gonna be back here. You could probably watch all his episodes. Like,
It's about 20 minutes, so you can watch 1 episode of my podcast, like, 40 times, or you could do 1 episode of, Chris's normal show.
there you go. Yeah, exactly. He's getting a lot more in. So definitely go check it out. But the one I kind of want to talk about real quick is the last one that you put out. Super cool idea.
Yeah, it was
First
a lot
off,
of fun. It was a lot of fun.
yeah. So for those that don't know, I kind of mentioned it before. Maddie knows the guy from Real Clear Stats. So Real Clear Stats is like this company that basically they just watch a ton of pickleball. They break it down with statistics. They've kind of created like their own statistics in a way, just ways that they've figured out are good ways to analyze play. Because, pickleball is a new sport. We don't really know like what stats are, you know, applicable to trying to determine if somebody's a good player or not. But that's like their profession. And they literally sell their data to Major League Pickleball teams. So that way they can make choices as far as drafting, who to put up for what matchups. I know Zane has talked about how the Squeeze really utilized the stats to beat the DC Pickleball team. So, dude, like, first off, tell me, like, what gave you this idea? And, like, was there anything that you kind of learned from it that you, like, really took away that you've seen kind of help your play?
Yeah, so the guy who does that, Ben, he's here in Austin, and we actually met through his stats that he was doing. My dad was hosting like a pro exhibition thing, and he was there to score it, so I kind of met him there. And yeah, I've kind of always just been a little bit of a nerd, so liking pickleball, liking data. I work with a lot of data in my real job, so it just kind of always it's like a nice little overlap of interest there. So I play a lot with him, and I always just kind of thought it'd be fun to take these advanced stats that are, used at the highest level and just apply them to our crappy games. And it's 100% overkill. You don't need to do this, and you don't really get too much insights beyond the fact that like we aren't very good. I think at MLP there's unforced errors and like 30% of the points. It was closer to 50% for us.
Oh,
I
wow.
think they get their third shots in play about like 92 or 93% of the time. Yeah, it's closer to like 80% for us. And the ones that did get over, the success rate wasn't as good. So like that, there's stuff you could take away, and it kind of just came to be of just thought it'd be a fun exercise, and I just thought it'd be a good video idea. And I think YouTube algorithm kind of liked it. I got some good traction there, so yeah, I'm happy with it. It was my first effort making a video, and all the guys were good sports too, because you're kind of putting yourself out there a little bit potentially to get roasted if you don't play well. So very very appreciative for everybody who participated in that game. And yeah, that's on my YouTube channel, and you can actually click on the link and see the full stat breakdown in there too. It's in the description of that video. But
It
yeah.
really is. It's super interesting, especially when you compare it to the pro level. Because I mean, like, you're just kind of like guessing. You're like, all right, well, they hit thirds
Mhm.
consistently, but like, how consistent is that? And like, how does that like, what's my consistency level? So like, when you were playing, I was kind of wondering this, like, because you record a lot of your games, so it
Mhm.
seems like you're not like camera shy as far as when you're
Mhm. You
playing.
might go for a few more ATPs or Ernies when the camera's rolling.
Yeah, you're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I gotta make the highlight tape." Okay, so that's kinda what I wanted to ask, like, does your game change when you got the camera on? Especially when like, okay, statistic-wise, like, we're recording everything. Because it kinda reminds me of, like, people kinda saying that the mindset changes when you do rally scoring, for example.
Mhm.
Because you're like, miss this shot in the net, that's a point against me. It's not like regular side out scoring where it's like, well, I could take a risk here. So did you kind of have that like same impact on your game a little bit, at least just
I
like
think a
mentally at
little
all?
bit, but we were agreed to log in on Duper as well. So once that was in the mix, you kind of just want to win, especially anytime you play with your buddies, especially when you're going to log in on Duper, everybody's kind of like giving it their best shot. I think it was more of that was impacting how we were playing than knowing we were going to score it and publish it.
Oh, dude, a duper will literally just
Oh
turn it
yeah,
up to
it'll
10 when you
take
do that.
it could take a friendly game from like people thinking like, "Are you sure that was out?"
Yeah.
It could,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, can we
But
challenge?
like so one of the big insights that we had was I was playing on the right side with my partner, and they were hitting every single return to me, or not to me, to my partner, because he was hitting along the net, and they kind of thought that was a good strategy. And after we looked at the data afterwards, it turned out, yeah, he hit more in the net, but the success rate, meaning the percentage of points that we either got to the kitchen or we won that point before getting to the kitchen, was actually much better for him. So even though he had more errors, his quality of his thirds was much better. They might have been better off trying to target me. So that's just kind of the main example of something we kind of took away from that. Like there could be maybe some strategic decisions you can make with that.
Yeah. So like that's something that makes me think it would be interesting for you guys to do another game now
Mhm,
with those stats and to see like who changed strategies based off of the
mhm.
statistics
And it's a small
and what
sample too.
happened.
It's just,
True.
3 games in the backyard. What he does for MLP, he collected like 200,000 shots, like not rallies, like shots, like every single
Yeah.
shot they chart in this thing. It's cool, and I've gotten to see that data too. My dad is the co-owner of the Texas Ranchers and the general manager there, so they purchased that data. They use it for their draft, and yeah, it's really cool. It's really fascinating.
Damn. Well, everybody definitely go check that video out. Go give it a thumbs up. And while we're on that subject, if you guys also wouldn't mind giving this video a thumbs up, this stream right now, that always helps the old algorithm, trying to boost the signal, trying to get it out there to the pickleball peeps. So if you guys wouldn't mind, go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And then do the same as well for Matty Pickles over there. Okay, well, it's funny. You said you're a bit of a nerd when it comes to
Oh, absolutely.
stats, stuff like that. I would consider myself a bit of a nerd too. So I feel like we're both in the nerd camp. I got some weird little hobbies that if you found out, you'd be like, oh, interesting.
Little
Um,
Dungeons and Dragons, little
it-
chess. How nerdy are we
not
talking?
not quite that. I did play Magic the Gathering
Okay,
as a
there you
kid.
go.
I got a whole
Yeah,
stack of cards.
that's
Um,
nerdy.
yeah. So I'm wondering, is there anything that you have that's like super? Because okay, like you're very like self-deprecating when it comes to your pickleball. Like
Mhm.
I think, and I'm kind of the same way. I'm very realistic about it. Like I'm not that good.
It'd be fun if I
What
was though.
it'd be what?
It'd be a lot of fun if we were, huh? Yeah.
Dude, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you just sometimes watch like a 5-0 play and like, God, man, what
Yeah.
do I got to do? Somebody like I wish I could just somehow give myself the gift of coordination.
Colin was actually, just leaving my dad's court when we got there to play the other day, and he
Mhm.
he was really nice. He played a game with us, and, like, he did an Ernie body bag on me and just effortlessly. He wasn't even trying. It was, yeah.
He played against you? Oh, wow,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
There's
he's a good
nothing
sport. He was humoring me a little bit.
that's great. There's nothing more illuminating to, like, how bad you are when you play somebody who's really good.
Yeah.
Like, you play with, like, some people your level, you're like, "I'm pretty good." Like, if I just drilled a little bit, I could.
The best content that I share, it always goes viral without fail. My dad will come out. He's like a 5-0 player. He plays senior pro, and he won't even take off his boots. He'll be wearing jeans, and he'll just literally destroy us, and he'll be coaching us up the whole time. And it's just nothing we can do. Yeah.
They just see it different, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's these
Well,
tennis guys. They come in. They already know what they're doing.
dude, for sure. I mean, literally, like, sometimes I always think if I had a time machine, people are like, "Would you kill Hitler? What would you do?" I'm like, "I'd go back in time, and I would just make myself a tennis player." I'm sorry if I'm selfish for
Hours of
using it that
grinding out
way.
those ground strokes. It comes in handy.
It really does. Yeah, just getting the coordination down. Like, dude, I can't even tell you how many times I've hit a shot where I'm like, "What was that?" Like,
Yeah.
it's not good. I'm glad I'm not recording it like you are, though. So it'll remain a secret.
I give
Um,
people a 5-second opt out. If you do a blooper, you want to opt out in that 5 seconds, I'll delete it. It'll never see the light of day.
there you go. Okay, you give
Yeah.
them an out. Yeah, I think it's healthy to put your bad stuff out there. You can learn from it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, okay. So if maybe pickleball isn't both of our highest of skill sets, is there anything that you do that you feel like you just dominate at? Like, what are you a 5-0 in? Like, what is something that like maybe it is Dungeons and Dragons, maybe it is chess. Like, is there something where you just feel like, dude, Like, all right, maybe I don't got this pickleball thing down, but take me on in this, and I'm gonna work you.
I'm pretty good in Excel. You know, when I get that spreadsheet
Oh,
open, yeah, I can get pretty dangerous with that. I'm not like, you know,
whoa.
the world Excel champion level, but yeah, I
They
get some.
have that, right?
Oh,
There's
they
like
have it.
Excel championships.
That was on the Ocho this year. Pickleball has been
What?
upgraded. It was not on their ESPN the Ocho year this year. So pickleball is now more legit than the Excel World Championships.
Wait.
Yeah,
Okay, I knew that this was a thing. I didn't know it was on
it's a thing.
ESPN.
Yeah, they do like a 2 day, like the Ocho, like, you know, the dodgeball bit.
Yeah. Oh,
ESPN,
dude,
yeah.
I
So
I
they have like
watched that this year.
cornhole
It's
on there.
fun.
Yeah, I think that if you stayed up to like 4 a.m., you could have watched the Excel World Championships. Where
Wow. Well,
yeah,
I caught dash hound racing. I caught dog surfing. I
yep,
caught pillow fighting. Now, pillow
okay.
fighting is something I would get into.
We used to do that. Yeah, we had
That's sick. But wait, so how does the format of
I don't really
Excel
know. They
spreadsheet
just
work?
I think they're trying to get spreadsheets modeling built out, and I don't know. I really can't speak too much to the competitive aspect of it.
You're not a pro,
But
you're a
I do
5
use yeah, exactly. I do a lot of work though.
Okay.
That and I've been
Very
playing a
nice.
lot of chess lately. I like playing garbage bullet 1 minute chess where like I'm not even
Oh.
winning by being good at chess. I'm just winning by making really fast moves. So
Just hoping that the other
yeah, it's a lot of fun.
opponent makes a worse move. That's interesting. Okay. Yeah. Have you ever done like any other tournaments besides pickleball tournaments for anything else?
I mean, played basketball in high school. I actually got
Oh.
I found my old mixtape. There's like 2 clips. I was a junior varsity MVP of a 5-26 team. They had to give it to somebody. They gave it to me. Uh,
Let's
yeah.
go.
I won
Dude,
the least parental involvement award in the Pinewood Derby in Boy Scouts. So yeah,
Oh, there you go. Dude, that's
yeah,
huge.
I
Yeah,
got some
who the hell is
achievements.
doing it
I
without
got
their
a little
parents?
resume going.
That's good, man. Sick. Matty Pickles.
Yeah.
He's a 5-0 Excel spreadsheeter, Pine Derby award winner. Man,
Not
you
just
got
not
it.
a pickleball, unfortunately.
It's not a pickleball, but hey, you won an award for a podcast.
That's true. I
Uh,
did. I don't know
yeah.
why. So Jimmy and Tyler gave me the King of the Court best podcast not named King of the Court, and they were talking about like, oh, they like what I do, and they were like, oh, we can't give it to Mary Brasha. Her podcast is only 2 months old, and I'm like, my podcast is only 2 months old too. I just like, okay, I'll take the award. I won't say anything. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it was well deserving of a win. And hopefully everybody watching right now will go check that out as well. So speaking of nerdiness, I don't know if that's fair to call this a nerdy thing, but one of the classic roasts that we've seen of you,
Mhm.
if you're comfortable talking about it,
Yeah.
is Thomas from the Pickleball Pod, from
Yeah.
the Pickle Pod, getting on you about your glasses.
Yeah. Him and Zane, like every time they bring me up, you see them look like this. So, yeah.
Well, I came across a video on Instagram today, and I just want to run this by you and see what you think about it. So I'm going to
Okay.
play this
Let's see
video
it.
if I can figure out how to do this. So bear with me real
This is
quick.
the first real test for you on this live stream.
Yeah, if I know what I'm doing here. So hang on, everybody. Let's see. Where is this? Okay. And I'm going to share. Okay, I might have to hold on.
I can't recommend these glasses. These are 3 ways my life has improved since I started wearing the carbon pivot glasses. I have rekindled friendships with people that I was previously too scared to play with because they hit the ball too hard. I am much safer when both doing wall drills and just everyday tasks in general. I'm currently on pace to have the lowest amount of injuries I have ever recorded in a year in my life. It's much harder to tell when I am crying after playing poorly.
That's a big one.
Helps maintain my masculine tough guy image in the group that I play with. I can't recommend these glasses enough.
That's
So
good
what do we
stuff.
think? Are these a possible upgrade that we could see in the future?
Yeah,
Are you
I'll give it
comfortable with the
if
ones
they
you
can
got
go
now?
if they can go prescription, I'll give it a go. You know, I got a little like band just because Zane and Thomas were talking so much trash
Oh,
about
right.
me. I got a little elastic band, so I can keep these ones on. But I would definitely upgrade to like proper protective eyewear. I've been thinking about it too. I kind of like the look too. I went to SMU, and our like best running back to come out of there was Eric Dickerson, and his look was those
Oh.
goggles he used to run with. So
Oh,
I think I
yeah.
could do something like that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a dude that played for the Rams, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I know who that is. That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know he went there. Well, anyways, that video is done by it's Carbon Pickleball's page, but that's actually my buddy Michael. I used to play with him up in Santa Monica. I've played pickleball with him, and he literally produces some funny content on Instagram.
That was good. That looked like that was good.
Yeah, he did. So if you haven't seen his videos, definitely go check them out. And but yeah, so okay, so interesting. Honestly, dude, I gotta tell you, I think it's actually impressive when somebody is like pushing in their glasses and still like
Oh, I
winning a
used to be
point.
they brought it up on their podcast. Thomas was like, "Oh, I can't play against Matty Pickles. He touches glasses every time." And I went back and found a clip, and yeah, I did like 4 times at a point. I was like, okay, that's fair criticism. You're a hater, but that's you're being an accurate, fair hater. I can take that.
It's the truth is the
And we
truth,
fixed
right?
it. We've addressed it. Also, I used to have crooked glasses. People were giving me a lot of crap about that. We fixed that too. All the haters have been addressed,
Yeah,
and they can,
sucking haters.
yeah.
Well, I don't think it's anything to hate on. Like I said, I think it's impressive. I think where did I hear this? Somebody was saying that they saw Georgia Johnson blow a bubble of bubble gum in the
I
middle
saw
of a
someone
point.
talk about that too. I don't know
Where
where
was
that
that?
was. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know
that's
where I heard
impressive
that.
though. It's like
Yeah.
you're here to chew bubble gum and kick ass and all that bubble gum. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's pretty badass. I can't lie.
I had so much fun watching her in the last APP.
Oh my
It was
gosh.
cool to see her
Yeah.
back in it. I wouldn't honestly would not mind. I don't know what the whole contract situation is with that whole group, but if they want to
Yeah.
play APPs, that would be fun.
Oh, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, wasn't it great to just see her come
Mhm.
back and she was dominating? And honestly, I thought what was even cooler was that she got beat by Millie Rain
Yeah,
and Bobby Oshiro, which
absolutely.
is everybody kind of like jokes around that, Millie Rain is like, kind of the weakest link of the,
Mhm.
the 5 or whatever, right? That little group there. But then comes in and wins a gold on
I
her and
mean,
Paris, which is like that's a good team, like Paris Todd and Georgia Johnson.
and like I just gotta say, like Millie and Bobby are like 2 of the nicest people I've ever met. Like
Oh,
in
really?
pickleball. Yeah, they're I was really happy to see them win. Obviously, I like Paris and Georgia too. Georgia was a rancher, so root for her as well. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
it's
there you go. Yeah.
good to see them get that win.
Yeah. Well, dude, APP has been honestly like last weekend. I mean, I think that was the first. Yeah, it was the first of the year and off to a hot start. I mean, like, really just like, man, there's something so special about like having a gold medal Sunday and it's all like different teams, different
Mhm.
players.
It
You
is
don't
nice.
know who's going to win. It's like, it's engaging and way more fun.
I think so.
Yeah. So what do you think? Like, so I'm a big fan of APP. I know you are too.
Mhm.
What do you think is kind of holding them back from taking it up to the next level? And like, do you think that it's just kind of going to be in this tier that's a little bit like kind of like less in the PPA? Or do you think they honestly have a chance, with to kind of be top dog maybe one day?
I mean, who knows? Everything's so uncertain in pickleball that I mean, yeah, I think literally anything could happen. I think they run a really good organization. Obviously, my aunt works there, so I'm incredibly biased towards them. Uh, Everything you say for me, people say Jimmy Miller's biased. Some people say Zane and Thomas are biased. I'm very biased towards APP and MLP. I'll just be upfront about that.
He's bought by Medium Pickle. How dare
Yeah,
you?
yeah. uh, I like the way they run their organization. I think anything is possible. There's so much
Yeah.
uncertainty in pickleball, just like where we are compared to like a year ago. A year
Yeah.
ago today actually was the split step, by the way, at MLP Mesa.
With
Compare
James
where we were
Ignatowicz?
then to like where we thought pickleball was going with this merger. Like, oh yeah, it's done and dusted. It's good. We're going. And
Yeah.
now it's who knows? So
Yeah. Well, dude, I love APP was killing it. I think some of the changes that they've made, I love rally scoring and
I like
singles. I
rally
think
too.
that's, oh, dude, I think it's huge. I know the players don't really like it. And, it's obviously, there's trade offs to everything. But I think that as a viewer, I'm like, this is how I want to watch singles, like, let's just keep it moving,
Mhm.
The thing that bums me out though about APP, I will say, is that I just wish that they streamed like some of the other games. Like I wish that they had like a grandstand court and they streamed that. And dude, I mean, I was thinking about it. I'm like, bro, how do we kind of get the hookup? Maybe because like they could maybe use some announcers on the back end
I think
court.
what would be cool is like if there was somebody who was like doing like a streaming thing, because like a lot of people have their niche things they're really interested in. Like you like your one specific video game, you have your favorite streamer who does that. I think if
Yeah.
there was somebody who was like streaming cool pickleball stuff, like just random times later in the evening, I think that'd be kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And dude, I'm like, I don't know, man. I mean, yeah, it's maybe doing like a live stream, like remote or something of the like another back end court or something. But I'm like, dude, how much fun would it be? Chris Callie and Matty Pickles announcing a game
Hey, that'd
on
be fun.
grandstand court. I think that'd be fun. I think we need to go pitch that. I'm just putting it out there.
I mean, I'm just a
You need to
guy who
have me
makes
listening.
I'm just a guy who makes 1-minute videos on Instagram.
You're like, I'll announce for 1 minute. That's all I got.
I don't really think I'm qualified for any of this, any of that. I just watch a lot of pickleball. Yeah, that would be fun though. That'd be cool. I think somebody should. I think it'd be cool to see. Like they've had Jimmy doing some of the side courts at PPA. I think he does good on there.
It's literally the only reason I bring it up is because I'm so
Mhm.
envious of him. I'm like, that looks like so much fun, and
It
I
does
want to
look
do
fun.
that. So yeah, if he didn't do it, I wouldn't be envious at all, and I'd never even think about it. But that's how humans are. You know, you see somebody do something,
Yeah.
you're like, I want that. No fair.
Hey, how long's it been since your last copyright strike? Are you like 7 days free?
I mean, well, they got my last PPA one. Big Pickle got me. Dude, and it's so funny because I've been talking to the PPA because I just reach out to them. I'm like, hey, like, what do I got to do? You know? And they didn't respond. And then after the last one, I was like, hey, my last one got taken down again. I just want to try one more time to see if we can figure something out. And then now they finally respond and they're like, hey, Chris, we saw that you posted on Rumble. And I'm like, sorry, I just thought that this was fair use. I thought I'm allowed to. I'm like, I'm not a lawyer. Like, what do I know?
I don't even know what Rumble is, man. You're out there on the dark web now. That's where you got to go.
Yeah,
to
so
find this episode.
I'm on the dark web, the darkest of places. So yeah, for those that don't know, you could go watch the last PPA episode of Sorry Not Sorry. It's up on Rumble, which is basically just YouTube, except I think it's just less people working there, so they don't have the bandwidth to be like, oh, you got a copyright claim and we're gonna take your video down. They're just like, we're dealing a million things here. Forget it. Let them just keep it up. So yeah, go find me on Rumble and you could check out what Big Pickle doesn't want you to see. So we'll see what's going on with that. I don't know what they're going to do after this next weekend. I will say this, and I can't say much, but I'll drop a little teaser. I'm either going to go one of two ways or three ways, I guess, technically. One way is that I get PPA's permission and their blessing, and that would be huge. I would love that. Way number two, let's just say I've been talking to some folks that would be able to set me up with a position where I would be able to do PPA episodes. Can't really say much more than that, but it would be awesome. And then option number three is I just get told no and none of the options work out. And then I just keep sneaking onto Rumble. I mean, I would never do that for anybody watching who would get me in trouble and send me a cease and desist. I would never do anything on Rumble, but I can't control if somebody else put up a video on Rumble that isn't me.
It's a crazy world out there, you know?
Yeah. I mean, you can't control it, right? Yeah. So we'll see what's going on with that. But I think I'll be okay no matter what. So we're going to keep fighting the big fight. So speaking of PPA, I want to get into some predictions now. We're going to talk kind of about next weekend, and we will get into it. By the way, guys, if you want, go ahead and send some questions in on the chat, and then at the end we'll go through some questions if you guys have them. We'll answer them. I see Sheldon's asking a question. We'll get to that in a little bit. So everybody, go ahead and post your questions, and we'll talk about that. But first, we're going to talk some predictions. But before we talk about pickleball predictions from the tournament, I want to take some predictions on a few things here, mostly with paddles. So this video dropped. So I'm not going to play the audio because it's pretty self-explanatory, but I will share this right here. So Christian Alshon, he is getting rid of his diadem. Is it diadem? I don't know. But he is getting rid of it. He is picking a new paddle. So what do you think he's going to? Any predictions? Anything off the top of your mind that you think that he's going to go towards? Anything you think he should go towards?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
He seemed like they weren't signing too many people and they signed him. So maybe they aren't going to have as many pros. I don't know. I'm like, so I said I'm a nerd, but the one thing I'm not really much of a paddle or equipment nerd.
You're like,
I just take whatever free paddle I'm given and just kind of roll with that.
There you go. Do you still use that paddle you got?
I do. I really like the pickle paddle they gave me. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. At least you have credibility to yourself.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just out here taking money from people and.
Oh, I'm taking money from people.
Oh, well, I mean, and using like a YOLO or something. You're like, yeah, I'll use that other shit. So that's good. All right. Well, honestly, I don't even know what they're going to go towards. I mean,
maybe him and Riley end up in the same place. I mean, they were teammates. Riley wanted to draft Christian. Who knows? Yeah.
Funny you bring that up because what I want to show now is a little clip from a podcast I know that we both love. So let's kind of play this clip real quick. Let's see. Here we go. Immediately.
Absolutely. Yeah. So folks, stay tuned next week on my Instagram page. I will be making an official announcement. I'm actually doing it kind of cool. And I know a lot of people, when they do their paddle announcements, they just kind of make a post with the paddle wearing the kind of the gear, but I'm actually going to take a trend from these high school athletes when they choose like a college, you know, like the 3 hats.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do kind of a similar thing. I'm going to have 3 paddles, the top 3. That's been kind of my selection. And then I'm going to choose the paddle that I'm going to be playing with. And so just with content, as you guys know, it's just fun to do different things. And
all right. Well, anyways, we get the idea. So he is going to put a bunch of hats down like he's some college football, you know, about to go into college football or something like that. He's going to wear the hat and be like, I'm signing with team whoever. So little background to this, though. Riley Newman did make a post on his Instagram story at one point, and he had a few different paddles here. So obviously he talked about in the podcast, if anybody watched it, he did talk about using, and he did play with a Pro XR. So he did play with that one a lot. That was in that picture, but he also had Proton on there. So Proton is definitely in the running. And I got to tell you, as somebody that does personally use a Proton, and I love it. And like you said, yes, like, sure, like maybe they are sponsoring the show, but only because I actually genuinely love it. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't. Use promo code sorry for 20% off. Anyways, I am hoping that he does go to Proton. I think it would be great for him. I think it's just a great paddle, and I think he's going to end up actually really liking it. So that's my guess. I guess it's more of a hope. I'm hoping he goes to Proton. I don't really care for Pro XR too much. I mean, Zane's great. It seems like a good paddle. But it seems like it's just mostly about the grit. I think that's kind of the big appeal.
I see a ton of those around Austin. I don't know if it's just because Zane's kind of popular here in town, but I do see a lot of the Zane signatures and the standard and all that.
Yeah. So is that what's your prediction with Riley?
I mean, I feel like he's been playing with that. I thought he played well enough this past weekend. I mean, that would kind of just be my guess, but yeah, like I said, I used a paddle that was free that sent me. Proton sends me a free paddle. Hey, we're talking here, baby. You know?
Yeah. So then maybe he's in the same boat. Maybe he's like, whoever sends me the biggest pet check.
Maybe I'm more like Riley than I thought. I will say this about the whole hats on the table thing. I can't really say anything, comment, or make fun of this. I actually did a similar parody video when I was deciding where I was going to go to college. Posted that to my Facebook. So I can't really say anything there. I'm guilty of the same. Same
no,
thing.
I love it.
It'd be great if he did like he could maybe do the decision, you know, if he changes again next time.
He did do that. Didn't he do that for Takaya?
Did he do that? Take us down. Yeah, maybe he did do that. He's a big basketball guy. I mean, he talked about that on the pod too. So I didn't realize he used to be a college basketball ref.
Yeah. How
that whole podcast, like I don't know if I should say I was surprised, but like he just seemed like, I don't know. It was really interesting the whole time, fascinating. I thought he was just a really good podcast guest. I thought it was one of their stronger episodes. Not
as good as you, but yes, he was a good guest. I think I saw a similar sentiment, you know, where it's like people were like, it was like kind of iffy on Riley 50-50. And then they're like, I kind of like him, you know?
Yeah. He seemed very genuine on there. And he was like, he didn't shy away from talking about the whole Mad Ride stuff. And I thought it was a really interesting episode. Not to plug another podcast that isn't mine or yours, but you know.
Hey, High Tide Rises all shit. It's all good. We promote all pickleball content here. But yeah, no, I mean, I thought that he was great on there. It was fun to listen to. And like you said, he was open about the mat thing. Even better, he was open about the whole planter, peeing in the planter thing, which is a hilarious story. And I'm so happy that he's kind of like joking around about it, not like, oh, guys, don't put that in there, you know, because that would make me be like, whatever, you know, laugh at yourself a little bit. So no, yeah, it was super cool. I enjoyed that episode a lot. So yep. So, all right. So I think our both of our guesses, whoever gives them the most money, I think it's fair to say.
I mean, that's what I would do.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm trying to think of like a bad paddle and they give him like $5 million would be a bad paddle. I don't know.
I mean, he was using a water bottle before this. So
yeah, dude, I actually saw one out in the wild.
With those. I really shouldn't. I'm not trying to talk smack. I never used one. And even if I did use one, I literally I'm the opposite of a pickleball paddle nerd, a ball nerd. Like I'm not good enough for it to matter. It's like just the blunt.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of just feel like a weight difference, and that's kind of how I judge it mostly. I like the Protons because they have a different material on it. It's not grit. It's like this, I don't even know what it is, like almost like rubbery type of thing. But apparently it gives you like the best spin. It's like rated the number 1 in spin, which is crazy to think about. Like I thought it was Pro XR, but apparently it's not. It's Proton. And you could tell the difference. It just grips the ball so
Is that what
great.
Andre's using now? The pink and blue one. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, the gender reveal party.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's a solid paddle there. So anyways, that is that. Well, anyways, yeah, so there's our predictions for that. We don't really know. But let's talk predictions for PPA this weekend. So here's how I want to do this. Because I think we all know the drill with PPA. Ben and Annalie. It's their show. And we're all just here watching. So let's go through each event. And I just want to I want to know, do you think it's going to be them that wins it? And if not, who would it be? Let's at least go who would have the best chance to upset them in each category. So we'll start with men's singles. Ben, do you think it's going to be Ben? He was upset by Dylan, or he was upset by Kwang Duong. And then Dylan Frazier ended up taking gold. Dylan Frazier's not playing in this tournament. Neither is JW Johnson.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So a little bit, that's kind of disappointing. Do you think anybody has a chance against him? And then,
I don't know that he likes those balls all that much. The Vulcan ball. I wonder if that has something to do with it. A new ball. Maybe he doesn't not like it, or he's just getting used to it. I feel like he'll probably have a bounce back tournament. I feel like that's like, I don't want to sound like Dave Fleming here, but like, they always get back to the drawing board, and I feel like he doesn't lose twice in a row too frequently. He doesn't lose once frequently. He probably,
I honestly, I agree. And I think that what's going to be more motivating than getting knocked out your first match back, and you're like,
the biggest disappointment was we didn't get that bronze medal match. I just wanted to see that so bad. The Kwang Duong versus Jack Sock. I mean, that would have been like, dudes ripping the ball like crazy.
Yeah, no, that would have been sick. And you know what's funny about that? Little update on the situation. For those that don't know, PPA was going to do their bronze medal matches. Finally, they were going to stream them, and everybody was so excited. They put out the schedule. They're like, here's when and where you could watch the bronze medal matches. Everybody's like, let's go. And then it comes down to it, and everybody drops out, right? Well, this is what PPA said, is that everybody was dropping out. Oh, they didn't want to do it, blah, 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 right? Or injuries, whatever. All of a sudden, Pat Smith went on Facebook and commented, no, this isn't the truth. Actually, we were going to play our bronze medal match, but Federico Staksrud was not able to play because he had to go play in the gold medal match that next day for men's singles. And it was at the same time as our bronze medal match for men's doubles. So we all just agreed to kind of just say, hey, let's just split it and you go play your gold medal match. Apparently, PPA suspended Pat Smith for that comment on Facebook. So Pat Smith is now suspended this upcoming weekend.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Dude, yeah. I mean, so to be fair, I saw this on King of Court today. So they're the ones that dropped this info. But yeah,
so what were his comments? What did he even say?
He just basically commented underneath a PPA post. The PPA post was like, hey, here's the, sorry, we're not doing the bronze medal matches due to injuries and people dropping out, blah, blah, blah. And then he came in underneath and was like, actually,
oh, hey, he did my thing.
Yeah. He was like, actually, the deal is you guys just scheduled this at a conflicting time and made it impossible for us. So you're lying. I mean, he didn't say you're lying.
That's like in the NBA press conference. If you say anything other than exactly what they want you to say about the refs, you're just $25,000 right there.
Yeah, exactly. That's literally what they did to him. Except they're like, we can't find you $25,000. We're just going to ask you to not play this next tournament. So pretty crazy. Wild.
He's playing well too. He didn't he was pretty good on the Ranchers for the Challenger League. The team didn't do that well as a whole. And then I think he was also maybe not fully healthy, but he's been so good the last kind of 6 months. They got that win over who was he playing with when they beat Ben and Colin last year? And then
who was it? Was it DJ Young?
I think it was. Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably just making stuff up now. But anyway, that's a bummer for him because him and Jay back together too. It's fun to watch.
So now Jay is playing with Ben Newell. So that should be interesting. Playing with a lefty should be cool. But anyways, that's so wild. Look, I get it. I guess, league's got to, hey, if you want to play for our league, here's our terms, and our terms are don't say anything bad about us. But I still like that we got some people going, you know what? I'm going to say it anyways. I'm going to say it. So good for him for speaking up and letting us know what's going on. Sorry that you got suspended. Oh well. So anyways, back to it. So men's singles. Do we think it's gonna be Ben?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I think I
it's-
agree.
yeah.
Okay, who do you think has any chance of beating him, if anybody? You know, aside from like who's on what side of the bracket.
I mean, men's singles is actually really fun right now. It just feels like there's a little bit of that, especially after a tournament where Ben loses, all of a sudden, like everybody else, like has a little extra in their step. You feel
Yeah.
like they see their opportunity. There's just so many guys that I would not be surprised at all. I mean, Connor Garnett's always up there doing his thing.
Mm.
Alshon is, he's really talented as well. But I just gotta say too, like I love the Kwong. He's so fun to
Yeah,
watch, and
he is.
he'll do little posts on Pickleball Forum, and he was just doing Instagram stories and videos that he's been over in Vietnam, and there's like apparently a
Super
burgeoning
cool.
pickleball scene there. I just find that really fascinating and really cool, and he's like such a young up and coming guy. I find myself rooting for him a lot.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely rooting for him. And I mean, now that has beaten Ben, it's kind of like, let's go. Like he's
Mhm.
got a chance now.
Yeah.
I know he did get injured last tournament, so hopefully he's been resting up. He feels better.
Mhm.
And yeah, like you said, super cool. He's just out in Vietnam, just like, hey
cool.
guys, check out this
Yeah,
pickleball
he
thing. They
took
got
a
a ton of
court that
courts
he
out
took a
there.
picture of, and there was like I don't know what city it was, but like it's just really cool.
Yeah, super
cool.
cool. I saw an article today too that I didn't read it. I just saw the title
Is
of it.
the
but it was
China
like,
one?
yeah, China is taking over pickleball.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh man, it's so funny how it's like, it just seems so much like scarier, you know? If you're like, Australia is taking over pickleball, you're like, oh, cool, good for them. That's awesome. But there's like China, and you're like,
I mean,
they're going to create like robots and they're going
that'll
to
be
just be
cool.
so much better.
I mean, if it's going to be an Olympic sport, there has to be another. Right now, it's like
Yeah.
pretty much just USA. That you can't have an Olympic. I guess you do have Olympic sports where it kind of feels like that, but other countries are still playing those sports. You need to have. It needs to be a global game, and I think.
Yeah. Maybe Canada's up there, but that's it.
Steve Deacon. He could.
Steve Deacon.
Who else is Canadian?
Catherine Parento.
Oh, duh. Yeah.
Yeah, she'd probably do well. And Australia has been doing a lot of MLP stuff.
They've got
It's just hilarious that they got the MLP going and like we're still figuring it out over here.
the
They're
Australian
like, well,
equivalent of MLP is rocking and rolling.
Yeah. So
It'd be cool if they just had like a slightly different, like weird version of pickleball that was like Aussie rules football. It's just like it's like Aussie rules
like what
pickleball.
rugby. Yeah.
You tune in and you have no idea what the hell is going on. There's guys
you're like,
kicking
this
things
looks
and
the same, but it's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. All right. Well, then what about women's singles? Anna Leigh. I mean, really, look, is there anybody else besides Anna Leigh and Catherine Parento that even have a shot in women's singles? Like, at least with men's singles, you're like, it could be anybody, anybody can have their moment, but women's singles.
Leia's back, so I mean, that's something to keep an eye on. And she,
very good point.
I don't think it was, I didn't really see the final score. I know she played Anna Leigh last event. I mean, obviously, there was the one that was like the match of the year, maybe last year. Yeah. So, maybe it seems like that one strategy that she was trying has kind of been a little bit figured out. So,
yeah, she'd made a post on Twitter afterwards. She's like,
Well,
okay, my old strategy of returning middle does not work. She's
and of
like,
course,
you can't just
since
come up.
it's Leigh, it's like then like 20 people get in her comments telling her she's wrong, and she's like, "Who are these random people? Why are they always so obsessed with me and telling me what to do? I don't know you."
Yeah. I think she's back off Twitter. Who knows? She's back on, back off. I hope she stays. I want her back on.
I'm a
I
Leigh
love
fan.
Leigh Twitter.
I like Leigh.
Yeah, same.
She's fun to watch.
I think so too. And I honestly, like, there's the rivalry between her and Anna Leigh is so good. I just want the payoff of her to beat her one time. Like, oh, come on. Like, you come so close. Like, it's just going to be a great day when she does have that one.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun to see.
Yeah. All right. So there's that. Men's doubles, Ben and Colin.
Honestly, I haven't even looked at like any pairings beyond just kind of like the usual ones. I know Thomas and Riley are still together, and that's a fun
I think that's the
team.
only one that's
Thomas is like the most underrated, entertaining player to watch because he just hits the ball so hard, and also he's from New Braunfels, which is basically Austin here. So I like to root for my Austin guys.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely like rooting for them. It's funny. It's like the only thing holding me back before from rooting for them was like Riley. I'm like, iffy on him. But then now after this last podcast, I'm like, you know what? Let's go Riley and Thomas. Like, let's go. I hope you guys win. Yeah. So, all right, cool. So there's that. Mixed, obviously, Ben and Anna Leigh. One new pairing that we have is going to be Christian Alshon and Catherine Parento.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Is Leigh still playing? Leigh Waters?
I'm
I
not
don't know.
sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know if she is. And if she is, I don't know who she'd be playing with. But yeah, so I mean, that's kind of a new one in the mix. If you ask Jimmy from King of the Court, he's saying that he thinks that Christian and Catherine could beat Ben and Annalie. I don't know about that. I don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it, but I mean that's just the way it is for any team that's playing them.
Yeah, exactly. That is like the toughest
And
one
I guess
too.
the only team that has beat them like last year was Georgia and J-Dub, and they're not playing, right? So
Yeah, exactly. It's like with J-Dub out of the mix,
Mhm.
Dylan Frazier out of the mix. Gosh, it just seems like
Oh, speaking of Leigh, I think I saw that she was playing with Jack Monroe. That'll be kind of a
she
fun.
is. Oh,
Yeah,
dude, how awesome is that going to be? I love
yeah.
Jack Monroe.
Jack's
I
great.
can't wait
So
to
he's
get
in
to play.
Austin, and he's started up the UT Austin Longhorn Pickleball Club. So yeah, he's a cool guy. I got to play
Let's
with him a few
go.
times too. He's a nice guy. Yeah.
That should be fun to watch. Yeah, and he's going to go lefty. Super cool. He's ambidextrous. So for
Yeah.
those that don't know, Jack Monroe's got a great Instagram page.
He's a
Always
really good
posting
follow.
awesome
He is.
clips. Yeah, he's definitely a great follow. He was also on the I keep calling it Pickleball Pod. He was on the Pickle Pod. So that was a pretty.
Yeah, so he's
decent
one of the
episode.
Austin guys with like Sincola, Carlos Dolores Zane, and all them. They've got a new place called like the Lab here in town that apparently they're like trying to. It seems like a cool spot. I'm gonna go check it out soon. So.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
Sick, dude. All right. And then women's doubles. Honestly, I don't even know what some of the women's doubles team. I don't know if Anna Bright is playing with Rachel.
Yeah, I probably should have done a little homework.
Me too.
I'm just gonna be
I'm hosting
lazy.
you. My fault.
Yeah,
I
you're
should have
supposed to
done
be
a little bit. Honestly, but what is there to prep? It's just like, yeah, we know who's gonna win.
I'm gonna pick
It's just
Annalie
like,
and
is there
whoever
anybody
Annalie
that
is playing with.
yeah, exactly. It's Annalie and Ben. We know who it should be. Okay, so there we go. Those are our predictions. We just think Ben and Annalie, and then we're just hoping for anybody else. But I will say that I think the biggest shot is going to be in men's doubles. I really think that Thomas and Riley have like a solid chance. Maybe they should talk to Real Clear Stats.
Hey,
maybe that's what they're missing.
Maybe. I'll plug my buddy anytime. Yeah, I love giving shout out to friends doing cool things. So yeah, Real Clear Stats.
There we go. One last thing I want to get your, I don't know. Let's take a look at this. I got to show this. I don't know if you have any comments, thoughts on this. I just find this hilarious. Some people are talking about it. I figured we could talk about it, even if it's just for a little bit. Check this out. If anybody watching, if you guys didn't see this yet, check this out. What do we think of this?
I saw this. It does not look like her.
Annalie Waters bobblehead.
I mean, I just don't see the resemblance.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm sorry. And everybody's joking. It looks more like Leigh Waters.
That's actually, I could get my head around that a little bit. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I thought bobblehead technology had come a little further.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you'd think that they'd be able to like 3D print like the exact face of her or something like that.
I've got a few bobbleheads at my work desk. I've got a Dwight Schrute. I've got a few SMU bobbleheads. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Are you going to add an Annalie Waters one to the mix?
You know what? I would love to get a pickleball bobblehead. So
I think
I should do that. Yeah.
I think I would get one too. Honestly, I'm like, you know what? Like, I wouldn't mind having a little Annalie Waters bobblehead, even though is it really her? Well, I don't know.
Yeah, close enough. It's got her name on it.
It's a pickleball bobblehead.
Yeah.
I think we do need to support, ventures like that. I see
do you
people
own
have
any
trading cards.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you own any trading cards?
I don't have any pickleball trading cards, but I've been thinking about getting them. I don't know. Not that I think it's like I'm gonna get it because it's gonna be worth something one day. I think it's just kind of cool, that they're making it. I just want to support that. I'll tell you what, I did meet one time. So my brother got married, and his wife's family member works for like this really big trading card company. And he's like talking to me about how it all works. They do like all the major sports. And I was like, have you guys thought about getting into pickleball? He's like, that's the next thing. He's like, we're working on getting into pickleball. So I think we're going to start to see like a lot more of the bigger name for, trading cards get into the pickleball world.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So I'm like, I got to support that. You know what I mean? Like, let's do it.
Like, do you think do you see a, analyze the future, look at all 34 trillion possible branches, and how many of those is like a Ben Johns trading card, like that you bought today worth like $10,000 in like 20 years? Is that a possibility, or are we reaching a little bit?
I think if I had to put a percentage on it, I would say there's like a 25% chance
Okay.
that we could end up there in the place. I don't know about 10,000, but like, well, maybe the way inflation's going. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Everything will be
but
worth $10,000.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Jack Monroe card worth $10,000 one day. No. But yeah, so I'm like, and it's funny. I was like, yesterday, so I don't really watch football anymore, but I was walking down the street and I could see into everybody's houses. They were all watching the AFC championship game, NFC championship game, walking down Main Street over here where I live at. Every bar's got it on. Everybody's watching. And I was just sitting there thinking like, man, like how, like, is it possible in 20 years that MLP could ever be in a position where maybe even 50% of what I saw have their TVs all glued, watching live, like the championship MLP game, And I'm
If
like, is
anything,
that possible?
it's hard to imagine just because, like, I don't know. I feel like when was the last time a new sport became like that? But
Yeah.
I could see Olympic pickleball. Like people get into
Oh,
curling.
yeah.
If curling was trying to like be an everyday thing, people would be making fun of curling just as much as they make fun of pickleball.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think, yeah, I've never really thought about that, but maybe Olympics is like
And
the
like
way to really take it to the
here's
next
my other
level.
theory. Well, in college stuff too. I think once you put
Oh, yeah.
once you put that piece of clothing, like, hey, I like that. That's
Yeah.
my team. All of a
That's my
sudden,
logo.
yeah, all of a sudden, then you've got a little bit of a connection right off the get go. And I mean, everybody likes to support student athletes from their college. So I could see
Yeah.
that being one.
Yeah. Maybe that's the route that it needs to go to. And
I
then
think
it's like,
that's like
hey,
where they like Steve Kuhn obviously he wanted it to be like the top 5 sport. That feels a little crazy, but like I could actually see like before too long college pickleball being something that you're not like getting ostracized for watching. Because right now,
yeah,
if you tell people you watch pro pickleball, yeah, it's a
you
vibe.
get some funny looks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's always the best is when they're like, oh, you do a podcast? What do you do podcasts on? I'm like, pro pickleball? They're like, oh, okay.
Okay.
They're like disappointed that I'm not just like talking about
Yeah.
random stuff.
I mean, that's kind of, I feel like we did about 50-50 of that.
Yeah,
I got to talk about my
for sure.
Pinewood Derby trophies, so that's pretty good.
And your Excel spreadsheets.
My
Yeah.
Excel spreadsheets. Yeah.
It's all relevant though. So, all right, cool. Well, there we go. Let me see if there was anything else. Oh, just one other thing, I guess we could just, while we're on the subject of like MLP a little bit. So I guess they are coming to some sort of agreement and it's up to a vote. And I don't know, this is just what I heard today, just to give an update. They did come to an agreement. It's all coming down to like an owner's vote. Everybody's getting new contracts. But here's the funny thing about it is that they could only move forward if every single player agrees to a new contract. So if one player just says, nah,
It's like one of those, like, I don't know, games they have you play, like almost like a Mr. Beast type thing. He does these weird things where it's like, if everybody agrees to do this, like, you're I don't know, some kind of like ethical experiment. Like
oh,
if every pro pickleball player agrees to it, then they're like better off. But if you were like the one hold off, maybe you're better off. I don't know.
oh, it's like a game show where it's like,
Yeah, it's like
if you
some
end up
kind of
being
like,
the only one, then you win the money.
yeah,
And
yeah.
then it's like, oh, shoot, I said yes to the new deal. You were the only one that said no. You win the money.
I wonder if there's any of that going on. I mean, like, I guess some
Yeah.
people, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just rambling a little bit now. I don't know anything about what's going on with MLP.
I'll be honest. I don't really know that much either. Like I said, I just watched King of the Court today. So everybody go watch that episode that just dropped today. Jimmy gives all the insight. Tyler gives all the insight. It's an interesting situation. I just find it hilarious that it could just be put on one person and they're like, sign the freaking deal, please. And like all the players, all the owners, all the fans are all just going to be like,
Here's
sign
a
it.
Who would be the funniest person to be that player where like everybody's
Julian Arnold.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious if he's the only one who's just like, no, I'm sticking to my real deal. I'd be like, typical. Oh man. So yeah. Or someone like Kwang Duong where we're like, oh, I did not expect that. He seems super like humble and like seems like he's just having fun out there. And all of a sudden he's just like, no, I know my worth. It's like, I would actually kind of support it. I'd be like, you know what?
I don't think I really just like, I can't fault any player who just has to kind of do what they have to do. I mean, it's you're playing pro pickleball. Who knows? Hopefully, we all hope this, continues how it is. But like at the end of the day, like if you just quit your job and then all of a sudden you got a little rug pull action here.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
Good
I
idea.
don't wish that upon anybody.
No.
I mean, like even the players I'm not a big fan of, I'm like, I want them all to get paid. I just want this to survive. You know, I think it's good for everybody.
Hey, do you wish that on the hype guys though? No, I'm kidding.
On the who?
I said, do you wish that on the hype guys?
Oh, the hype guys. I actually don't mind the hype guys
No,
anymore.
I'm a big fan of the hype guys. They're here in Austin
Yeah.
too, and I think I think they bring a little bit of fun to the game.
Yeah, you know, they won me over when they said that they're still going to show up to the PPA that is like nearby. That's like not traveling. I'm like, you know what? Okay, like you guys, you got some credibility to you. You know, it's not just like you're paid to go do it and you're doing it. I'm like, all right. You know, it's funny. One of them actually reached out to me once I got the copyright whole thing happened. They were like, oh man, Big Pickle got you. I'm like, you know, we're like relating over it. You know, like yeah, they got us, man. So yeah, shout out to the hype guys. I was trying to tell them, and I think I heard you say something similar, but I was like, dude, what do you think about going to APP? What if we just like put all hands on deck and like just make APP something real special?
I think I don't even know if they. I mean, I don't want to speak for them. I talked to them like Canton briefly, but I think they're going to keep doing their thing. I wouldn't be surprised. I think it'd be kind of cool if they did that. But whatever they do, yeah, who knows?
He gave me a flat out no.
No.
He has reasons, but I think we could change his mind. So we'll work on it. Everybody just right under his comments under his post. Go to APP. Let's just attack him with comments to go to APP. All right. Well, we are coming towards the end of our show. I'm going to go through we got some questions. And then we're also going to play a round of partner body bag winner off the net. So
fun. I've always wanted to be a part of that.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's a catchy. It's a catchy. Are you going to sing it?
I wish I had the video clip to play. That's my buddy. I was just driving down the street one day and he just texted me. He's like, hey, what do you think about this? And I was like, audio file. What is this? I play it. And it was that song. I'm like, dude, banger, what? Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, you like crafted all this? So shout out to Dan Werlinski. He's a very good musician. He's got a band too. So check out his stuff. But let's see. We got a from Sheldon. Why is a drop serve not mandated? Could it be more of a weapon than the traditional? What do you think about the drop serve? Are you a drop serve guy? I don't think so, right?
No, but speaking of real clear stats, he does a drop serve and he'll do backhand, he'll do forehand, and it keeps you guessing. I think at my level, in that 3-0 to 3-5, anything that keeps your opponent guessing, there's some real value. Could it be more of a weapon than the traditional? I don't know. I can't imagine Deckel Bar having a better serve after switching to a drop serve than what he's doing.
True.
So
yeah. I will say every time I play against somebody with a drop serve, speaking of which,
it's different.
It's different, and you could get a lot of power on it, which I don't know.
I saw a guy who would stand like almost 10 feet back, or if you're on a shorter court, as far back as he could, and get like an extra big wind up. It was like an artillery cannon back there,
like a Happy Gilmore style.
Kind of like that.
That'd be awesome. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it could be more weapon. I really don't know the science enough to like say like I wish we should get like a physicist to like answer this question. Well, if you hit it at this angle, it also like gives you more speed. Blah, blah,
yeah.
Blah,
they
blah.
need to bring. Remember that show, Sports Science? Is that still a segment?
Oh,
you get a
Sports Science drop serve would be a great episode. Let's go. We need to bring that back. That's a good idea. So anyways, let's see what else. We got Beamer Cycle said, should people be penalized for slamming paddles? Penalized? They should be giving a bonus. If I had the money, I would pay everybody a huge bonus if they slam paddles. I love it. I don't know why.
You shared the one clip where 3 out of 4 went flying at the APP.
Oh yeah. That one last point of the match. Yeah, everybody threw their paddles.
That was a great match, by the way, too.
That was a fun one. Yeah, APP bringing the heat. I love.
I think Pablo did a slam and a kick. I thought that was a nice little bit of innovation in the space.
It was like a drop and then a kick. I don't want to say he slammed it.
That's fair.
It's like a drop serve. It was like a drop smash kind of thing.
I think you should be penalized if you're putting anybody at risk, and that means even if it's inadvertent, like the whole DJ Young thing.
Oh, sure.
That paddle goes in the stands. Yeah, that's not good. So
it's just your intent is relevant if you hit somebody.
Like, maybe it's just like the need to kind of be a little bit like tennis, playing like a racket. You have to penalize that. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, look, if they did penalize somebody, I would understand. You don't want people just like smashing paddles all the time.
What if you just like gently broke your paddle? You think that's okay? Yeah.
Yeah, just like you're breaking off like a saltine or something like that.
I think breaking it over the knee, like you're not hurting anybody, but maybe yourself. That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
like anything where you're not hurting somebody.
And once it leaves your hand, there's a
Oh,
little bit
dude.
of spray. You just
Yeah,
never know.
don't be throwing it and having it hit fans. That ain't cool for sure.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Yeah, or your partner or opponent. Yeah, that's definitely not cool because you really could get hurt like that. I mean, like I've been on the rec play courts and like somebody smashed the paddle and it like kind of trickles on our court and I just look at them like, dude, like what are you doing? Calm the hell down. So yeah, I don't know if they should be penalized, but I will maybe compromise and say if it is even like close to hitting somebody else, then fair. All right, what are you gonna do? All right. Well, now let's end things with a round of partner body bag winner off the net. Partner body bag winner off the net. All right, I'm not gonna say it, but you guys get the drift.
That's good enough. I got like the half experience. That's good.
So all right, so I got 3 names for you. So for those that don't know, partner body bag winner off the net, the game where I'm going to give Matty Pickles 3 people in the pickleball world, and he's going to decide who he'd partner with, who he'd body bag, and who he'd hit a winner off the net with. He's going to tell us why. So the 3 names I got for you, and I'm going to do this on the theme of pickleball podcast because we're both podcasters. You've won an award for podcasting.
Yeah, and by the way, I don't know why they were trying to say you're not a podcast. I think you're definitely a podcast.
You know what? Thank you.
Come on, let's just be real. Let's just.
I think this makes it a podcast. If now that I did this, I think
it just felt very conversational. We were like,
this is a podcast.
Yeah. Before,
before it was like, maybe not. I did a poll and it was like 50 something percent yes, 40 something percent no. So it's very close to 50-50. People don't even know. Uh-oh, did I freeze?
I'm here. You're frozen though. Yeah.
Oh no. Is it my Wi-Fi? All right. Well, this is a good start to the game. You can still hear me, right?
I can hear you.
All right. Well, let's just assume that I'm still good to go. All right. So partner body bag winner off the net. The 3 names I got for you. Number 1, host of the Pickle Pod. Why can't I say that? Host of the Pickle Pod, Zane Navertil.
Okay.
Number 2, we got Tyler Loong, host of King of the Court. And number 3, Travis Retmeyer, host of the Tennis Sucks podcast. So 3 podcast hosts, Zane, Tyler, Travis. Who would you partner with? Who would you body bag? And who would you hit a winner off?
So I'm a big Zane fan. He's here in Austin. And I kind of run him a bunch, just, around different courts. So I think I would get the most mileage out of a body bag on Zane. So I'll body bag Zane. Since Travis was a rancher, and I really thought he was just awesome all season 2 of MLP on the Ranchers. I think I'd like to partner with him. He just seems, I'm kind of scared of him. Like he's very competitive, but I think it'd be a fun experience to partner with him. So I'll partner with him, and I guess winner off the net goes to Tyler. Nothing personal, just I've only met him like briefly in passing at PPA Austin last year. I was still like, I wasn't even like doing any like podcasts or anything. So I was a little awkward, but I was just like, hey man, what's up? So I'll just get a winner off the net over him. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
But thanks for the award, Tyler. Thank you.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like okay, that just I won't body bag you then. You gave me an award. So all right, there you have it. So he's gonna partner with Travis, he's gonna body bag Zane, and he's gonna hit a winner off the net with Tyler. All right, it's settled. Well, that is gonna do it for this week's episode of Sorry Not Sorry. Thanks so much, everybody, for watching. Hopefully, you can even see this right now. I'm still frozen.
Yeah, you're frozen. Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Well, hopefully this makes it to the interwebs. If not, it's still been fun talking to you. Matty, just give them one more time. Tell them where they could find all your stuff, all your social media. Go ahead.
Yeah, just Matty Pickles. I think there's an underscore on my YouTube and Twitter. I should probably check that out. But anyway, yeah, you'll find me. And Instagram. And then also quick shout out to the Austin Pickle Ranch. That's my dad's facility here in Austin. We got a tournament coming up in February. So if you're in Austin area looking for a fun round robin tournament, check it out. I'll be playing.
There we go. All right, guys. And if you want to help support the show, go ahead and check out the Etsy link down in the description below. Go ahead and get yourself some Sorry Not Sorry gear. I'm wearing a shirt right now. It's so comfy, honestly. It's so comfy. I would wear this like every day. But then I'd be that weirdo who's just wearing pickleball gear of himself out in the real world. Oh, there we go. I'm back. Oh, can you hear me?
I can hear you. You're just...
Let's see. This is a terrible way to end things. I think my camera died. That's why. Let's see. There we go.
There he is.
I'm back. We did it, everybody. We're going to end strong.
Outro for you.
Well, all right, dude. Well, so yeah, anyways, go ahead and support the show by going to the Etsy store. Link in the description below. Blah blah blah. Go ahead and give this a thumbs up. If you had some fun here today, go ahead and leave a comment if you're watching later. Let us know what you thought about some of the things we talked about. Go support Matty Pickles. Go watch his last Real Clear Stats video. I'm telling you, you will love it, especially if you are an amateur pickleball player like we all are. And that's going to do it. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching. We will see you back next week. We are going to do a PPA recap. So if you don't see it on YouTube, you know to go to Rumble.
Dark web.
So we'll see you there. Thanks everybody. Take care.